Your phones. If somebody has it on their desk, perfect. Just unlock your phone. Press the volume down button. Yeah, please. Press the volume down button so that it does not make noise during the meeting. Once that is done, I want you to do one another thing. Just put it in your pocket so that it does not hamper your listening capabilities for today's meeting. Because Toastmasters, we are here to communicate. And if somebody is communicating on stage and you're communicating with someone else on your phone, it does not look good to the speaker on stage. Now, it's time for a short quiz. So, I think all of us somewhat remember the rules of the meeting, and I want you guys to remember it because I forgot it completely. So, rule number one, something related to cost topic. Somebody can help you with that. What is that rule? I think even worse than you. Okay, so the rule number one is please ensure that you do not cross talk during the meeting. When somebody is speaking or non-speaking on stage, we are always speaking on stage, somebody will be on stage. But please do not cross talk or ensure that you don't leave or enter the meeting room when somebody is on stage. If you have to leave, then please do it when we are applauding for someone. Perfect. Rule number two. Do not enter or exit the room. Yes, perfect. Rule number three.
We do not talk about politics or politics.
Yeah, perfect. So we do not talk about politics, sex, or religion in a derogatory manner. So it is a loophole that is given for at least me that I remember somebody sometimes speaking on these three topics, but not in a derogatory manner so that nobody get offended during the meeting. Perfect. Anything else? What? Rule number four? Yeah, please go ahead.
We will be recording this meeting. This is live on YouTube. So if someone have any objection, please do let me know.
Yeah. So we will be recording this meeting, but if you have any objection, I think you can listen. Anything else? Anything that I'm missing? Yes, Mohit. You have covered all the points. Perfect. So with this Toastmasters, let's not waste any further time. I think you guys have understood that this is a professional setup and we ensure that we maintain the decorum of the meeting. Although we have something planned for today where you will see that we use a decorum, but except for that, let's ensure that we become a good audience so that the speakers feel respected on stage and you respect your presence in the meeting as well. With this Toastmasters, let's call upon stage a presiding officer, the Red Bull, the energy bar of Toastmasters, Gurugram Dronacharya Toastmasters, Toastmaster Suresh Saini on stage as a presiding officer. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rahul, for having me on this stage and for that great introduction in fact. So to start with, let's start with for introduction of our guest. So I think we have two guests here, and to start with Neeraj, right?
Yeah.
Your introduction, what brought you here, and what are your expectations from this meeting?
I guess I'm Neeraj Gupta. I work with the Director of Engineering at AI Energy Group. I stay nearby area, known to last shop. I joined this club because I heard about a lot about Toastmasters. My expectation over here is at least a professional communication skill or to be more confident while speaking. And looking forward to new person for new perspectives and to share my views also.
Thank you so much. Jayanta, right?
I'm Jan Patra. I was a project manager for General Electric and lead Southeast and Asian countries. And the thing which brought me here is basically to enhance my communication skills. Since we grow in our path, there are a lot of interaction learning growth. So we have to be performance to take that challenge. So that's why I'm here and looking forward to collaborate with everybody, learn and grow. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Happy to have you, and we wish you all the learning and success in your life. We are Toastmaster Ritik. Let's move to Toastmaster Ritik to know him better. I have a very
I'm a member of Gurugram Toastmasters, so this is my first time attending this meeting. I have been in interaction with Mr. Suresh for quite a long time, but now today Meenal dragged me, and from this moment on also I can feel that how professionally this meeting is being organized, which is quite commendable, especially to you and Rahul and everybody. Right.
Thank you so much. Of course, our keynote speaker will introduce you. So, no need to introduce yourself. Thank you so much. And now let's move to the structure of our meeting for the benefits of our guests. So Toastmaster International's meeting usually happens in three parts. And prior going on that, let me introduce you about the inception of this important and what we call very let me find the right word. Sometimes I forget. So this great institution, so it was started way back in 1924 by Dr. Ralph C. Smedley. He thought that people can become great speakers and great leaders with constructive feedback and practice. So this institution, which is huge at this moment of time, around 14,000 club all over the world, with around 283,000 members and it presents in 144 countries, was started with just a room smaller than this, and now this is such a huge organization. And the reason is simple. People see value in this organization, and the organization has changed the life of many people. At least I can, vouch for it because it has changed mine. And maybe my fellow Toastmasters sitting here will also agree this same point. Now moving back to the point where we left, that the meeting happens in three parts. The first is the prepared speeches, where you will see few of the speakers coming on the stage and delivering these speeches as per their educational task. Usually these happens for 5 to 7 minutes, but as the Toastmaster advance in their curriculum, the duration of these speeches increases up to 15 minutes or 20 minutes, and you will get to see some of the advanced speeches today. And one most important thing that this Toastmaster journey will give you many skills. One of the skills is forecasting, and today you will get to see that one of the Toastmaster is going to share his experience in creating one of the podcasts. So that's another kind of learning, and not podcast only. There are so many skills we learn here, right? And the second section, which is the most important one, that is evaluation section. The constructive feedback we get, and that's how we improve. So that you will also see here that how the feedback is given the person who come over this stage from the start of the meeting till the end of the year. And last but not least, the most heated and very kind of exciting segment, that is impromptu speaking, table topic section, where Toastmaster Rahul will be giving us all gift and ask us to deliver a speech for at least 1 minute. For almost we'll try to that we can accommodate as many as people we can. So that's how the structure of this meeting will be. And especially in our club, we have a very special segment, the keynote speaker. We ensure that the people, the Toastmaster, the guests, whosoever comes here, have something to take back with them at their home. So that ensures that you are back here once again for more such kind. So you will get to hear Toastmaster Meenal, who is our keynote speaker for today's session. So we'll definitely get to learn a little more. And we have few announcements. I'll quickly make it. So I think the only round is left for renewal. The members available here today in the meeting. So please renew as soon as possible. And I invite both of you to start your journey, because someone has said, someone intelligent and the very wise person has said the best day or time was to plant it was 20 years back. And the second best time is today. So don't delay. Join our club and start your journey of learning in terms of leadership and communications. With that, I officially open this meeting and it's time to invite the again that tall, reliable man of our club. Punjab Musafir. So that's the new name which I came to know. I was thinking there was some special name. So let's give a huge round of applause for our keynote, Toastmaster of the day, or maybe evening, Toastmaster Mohit. Let's give him a huge round of applause. Thank you so much. Over to you.
So today's theme is law of attraction. I'm sure everyone has heard this name earlier. Yes?
Yeah. We have few guests on the online stage, so I could not see them. So maybe we can ask them for introduction. You please take this. Kshitiz Pal, Madan.
Yeah, guest Kshitiz Pal, would you like to introduce yourself? Everything is possible, please switch on your camera. Or guest Madan. So having coffee?
Madan and Garrison Mehta.
Garrison was there
Last week also, yes.
Garrison, would you like to introduce yourself? Madan, Garrison, Kshitiz. Maybe we can come afterwards then. And we might be dealing with that. Everybody knows this law of attraction. Something about law of attraction. Have you anyone of you practiced it before? What is law of attraction? Do you know? No idea. And we'll basically start with a simple thing. First, the attraction part. Attraction is attracting something towards yourself or towards anything. The magnets attract each other. North and the south poles attract each other. The various other things attract each other. That's attraction. That's a simple thing. Attraction is made up of two words: attract and action. This law of attraction, most of the times we must have heard about Secret, the movie Secret, the books also, and various other videos also, we might have heard about it, but they always and always, most of them, miss this part called action. So we will today talk about what this action in attraction is and why it is known as the law. Because law is scientifically, most of the time scientifically proven, that is the law, or at least legally proven, if not scientifically. But the law of attraction is neither legally nor scientifically proven. So why is it law? And what action is part of this attraction? We will talk about this. But before moving forward in this theme, I would like to introduce our general evaluator of the day, welcome on stage, our general evaluator of the day, so that we will have a better introduction about how this meeting will proceed further and who all participants are there who will be helping us in taking forward this meeting. For this, I would like to invite our Toastmaster, Ritwik, who is also a singer and will be singing a song.
Hi everyone. So today I will be the general evaluator. For the guests specifically, I would just like to brief you a little bit. So as we started the meeting with the philosophy of Mr. Smedley, who started with this Toastmaster journey about 100 years back. So there were two things. One was practice. You need a safe space here, nobody is judging you, everybody is applauding you and everything. That space is given to you. You can practice here. Now the second thing, which is the most important thing, is the feedback. Everything, what if you practice something in an odd way and you do it daily? So we spoke about singing. Suppose I practice singing and I just go off pitch and I practice this very smartly every day consistently. What will happen? I will be a perfect wrong singer. So to avoid that, we need feedbacks. We need feedbacks to ensure that we are on the right track. So today my role in the meeting is going to be a general evaluator. That is, I'm going to evaluate all the different role players today. And also, there are three sections as already mentioned. One section was the prepared speeches, where we have dedicated speech evaluators today. So they will be evaluating the speeches. I will be just taking care if the speeches are well evaluated. Then, for the table topics and the table Toastmaster of the day, I am going to be evaluating their roles in general. Also, in this journey, there will be three team players.
We have timer only today.
We have timer only. Okay. So generally in a Toastmaster, I would just mention that there are three role players which helps me in assisting with the evaluation journey. So these are timer, R counter, and grammarian. So today we have just a timer. So timer is going to ensure that the speeches are well on time. So the prepared speeches have some particular amount of time in which the speeches are to be completed. So the timer will be timing it. And then there is going to be there is generally a R counter which takes us through all the repetitive words and all these things. And then there is one grammarian which takes us through what are grammatical mistakes which we do in the meeting. So today I think what are the day was already mentioned. So there I saw.
No, we have just written. So we will keep this meeting light without any word of the day because we have so many great speeches today.
So all the words are open to you. And you can use it. And will give you a thumbs up. So timer is going to.
Yes.
Okay, so we have timer as Hitesh.
Yes.
Hitesh, I would like to.
So hello everyone, I will be presenting the role of timer over here. And in order to get this meeting successful in a more productive way, we need to have timing in place. So for the prepared speeches, usually the timing is 5 to 7 minutes, but over here today we have a keynote speech and different ones. So
for keynotes, it's 17 minutes.
17 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, so whenever the threshold has been crossed, whenever it reaches this, I will show you.
So you will show 12 green, 13 yellow, 15 red, and 2 minutes extra. We can.
Please can you type this up? Because all the three speeches have a different time limit.
So I will just follow what has been written over here. And please follow this. So this would be the first section, the second would be the yellow, and the third would be the red one.
Speaker one is Toastmaster Divya.
Two of the speeches are also having different kind of timing.
You go first. Toastmaster Divya first, then I'll give. 9 to 10 minutes.
For timer, for green, red, yellow.
8 green, 9 yellow, and 10 red.
So I am coming back at the end of the meeting to give a summary of all my report for the meeting. Till then, over to you. So first, please.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, General Welfare Toastmaster, with point your introduction and your team's introduction to what all we are going to do. So I'm sure everyone has heard this dialogue, if not about offer section, but at least heard this dialogue. कहते हैं which one? ओम शांति ओम कहते हैं किसी चीज को पूरी शिद्दत से चाहो तो पूरी कायनात उसे तुमसे मिलाने की जरूरत में लग जाती है. This is actually the meaning of law of attraction. When you try to find that, when you want something so deeply that you cannot even live without it, or you can only think of that thing, it automatically attracts. Why? As we already discussed, in universe, everything attracts one thing to another thing. The galaxies are attracting each other, the planets are attracting each other, the satellites, artificial satellites, they are connected to the Earth or other planets too. Almost sun is attracting something. Every star is attracting something. Similarly, because the universe is made up of atoms and elements and have energy all over, similarly, our thoughts are also those energies. Our energy, the positive energy or the negative energy, the thoughts which are made up of, they also attract something. And what's that? The positive will attract the positive, the negative will attract the negative. I have a very good examples to share, but before sharing my examples, I would like to listen to the examples from you. In case, just in case, if you have practiced law of attraction or experienced law of attraction in your life, I want you all to give space of your time, share a 1 to 2 minutes of your brief intro about law of attraction, your where you faced it, and when you experienced, please. I want to speak. Ever experienced law of attraction? Anyone? No one.
There's such which could be said as an example.
Maybe. Just give it a thought.
Red light, interesting.
You went up to red light and you won't pay the red light.
It was just red.
Oh. So you were
And
manifesting
I
and having
started off
mind
with
like.
green, but when I entered, I started off with a green.
Yes, so you were manifesting red color. That's why you saw all the colors red on the traffic light and now you want to. Okay. They should like to share something.
Yeah, it was like we had a party, office party, and one of my friends suggested let's take a cab. He maybe I was about to take a cab, but he insisted to take a car to reach home. And I said, "Mama will take us." And then they got us and you find.
This is one of the beautiful examples was when in the month of April when I was in Dubai. For 4 days, I couldn't find a single policeman on road. And when I came back, when I was returning from Dubai, I was like, at least now I shouldn't be finding any policeman on the road to stop my car or anything. Because I have experienced a good thing. Maybe I can manifest here that I won't be finding it, but I was manifesting I won't be finding it. And on the same day, I got a challan of 15,000 rupees that day from policeman, and that was a different case. But it was just next day when I returned from Dubai, when I was actually manifesting that I won't be finding it. So, in manifesting what law of attraction, what matters is the way we think, the way we speak in our minds, the way we utter any word. For example, this is a old example, but I want you to think of a pink elephant. Can you think of it? Everyone? Have you seen it?
Pictures.
Picture of a pink elephant only. But have you seen it in real? There is no such as nothing is known as pink elephant. But if you think of pink elephant, there you will find it. And what if I tell you don't think of a peacock? Can you still see a peacock in your mind? Yeah. But I said don't think of it. But still you are thinking it. Why? Because maybe our mind don't think in words like don't or not. They want to see whatever we can imagine. Can you imagine something known as don't? There is no picture about don't. But there is a picture of peacock. There is a picture of pink elephant that we can imagine. So what we imagine in our minds comes to reality. As I was manifesting, I was imagining I won't be finding policemen on the road. But I won't be finding is not a word. There is no image about this won't be finding. But there is an image of policeman on the road. And there what that was. But more on this, not only this policeman thing, I have manifested multiple other things without even knowing what actually law of attraction is, not even knowing how it works. But I have manifested it. And in the recent years, maybe 2-3 years back, I got to know about the law of attraction thing, how it works and how it helps us in manifesting things. But I'll share those examples after a few minutes because it is time to invite our very interesting keynote speaker of the day. Why interesting? Because as you mentioned that you will there is a speaker who will be telling a story about podcast, and she is the one who has already launched her podcast last month and have successfully shared 2 episodes of that podcast. The podcast name is Beaver, and I'll share her introduction first. Then I would like to invite her. So I would like to invite our keynote speaker Toastmaster Meenal blends creativity with passion, running a hospitality venture, hosting the Mewas podcast, as I've already mentioned, and guiding as a certified yoga trainer. In Toastmasters, she has earned Triple Crown Award, was the past club president of UGTNC, and is now serving in District 41 as area director. Please help me welcome Toastmaster Meenal. Toastmaster Meenal equals that empower. Toastmaster.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests.
Good morning.
Let's start with some small activities.
Sorry.
So let's start with a small activity. Can I request you all to clap once? Now twice. Now a big round of applause for all of you. Thank you so much. How did that feel? A boost of energy,
Yes.
right? So this sound is simple, yet it carries magic. When you hear applause, your heart smiles, your spine straightens, and suddenly you feel seen. Because it is not just a sound, it is an energy, it is encouragement, and it is the reminder that what we do matters. So let me take you back on your childhood. The first wobbly step you take, what did your parent do? The first wobbly step you take, what did your parent do? Yes, they cherish the moment, take that. Then you draw a script, you scribble a circle that maybe look like a potato. But what did your teacher do? They appreciate. They maybe just said wow and they clapped. Right? Because clapping is something, it tells us that if you're doing something and someone is clapping, you are going on the right path. Keep going. It tells us that your efforts matter, even if it is not perfect. So again, I would like to ask, how many of you remember the first time you were applauded by your teacher or parents? Anyone remember this?
We were not that good student.
Okay. If you remember how it felt when you get applause, do you remember the time?
Yeah.
How it felt? How it felt, sir, when you get applause?
You get energized and then you get motivated and then gives you the good feelings, good vibes.
Right. Anyone else want to share?
They stay on our memory longer and leaves impact for the next one.
Okay. Yes, Suresh.
It encourages you to take the most exposed in that touch.
Okay. Right direction, you can take a step. So this is the power of applause. That it not only celebrate a success, but also create memory. That's how it felt when everyone applause for me, maybe for the event. But something strange happened as we grew older. The applaud began to fade. Now, no one claps when I wake up early in the morning. No one cheers when I complete my work on time. And definitely, no one applauds when I hold my water. So with the age, applause is disappearing, and with it, so does our motivation. So let me share you a personal story. In my first job, I worked very hard late night to just complete my project report. I poured my everything into it. Analysis, research, designs, everything. And then finally submitted the report. And I was expecting at least well done. But it was something different. The report was accepted, used in meeting, but no word of encouragement. That silence was heavier than the work itself. And that day I realized the efforts are invisible if there is no appreciation. And I think it is same for all of you because at work, when your ideas are overlooked, at home, when your efforts are taken for granted, and maybe in life, when you are moving forward, but no one is noticing. Right? Have you faced it kind of thing? So let me share now the 3 powers of applause. How that equals, that empowers. So the first power of applause is the power of motivation. Do you remember when you heard applause, when you delivered your first speech or icebreaker? Something happened inside you?
Yes.
What was that?
Tingling sensation and this rats in tummy. Lots of rat.
How do you feel after it first?
Feeling of achievement. I've achieved it.
Feeling of achievement.
It gives you encouragement also.
Yes. So at that time, your heart swells and you say to yourself, you can do this again. Right? Have you got this confidence from there?
Yes.
So this is the way that applause has the motivation, can inject confidence in your motivation that you can take the next step. Even the science proves that applause releases dopamine. Have you heard about it?
Yeah.
The feel-good hormone. So it share a message to our nervous system that you are in a safe place. Keep going. You belong here. Even in yogic science, they talk about clapping because it activates our hands acupressure points. It's stimulating the energy, increase the blood circulation, and releases the tension. So how this clapping is not just for the receiver, but also about the giver, that it can recharge the giver of the applause. Okay? So now we will talk about the second power of applause. And it is power of connection. Applause can use as a bridge between the giver and receiver or the speaker or audience. Let's take an example. Example of Virat Kohli. Have you noticed how he celebrated his success on cricket field? The moment the crowd roared, he just raised her bat and acknowledged them. And it is not just about the cricket, it is about the connection. Similarly, in Toastmasters, when we just take a pause and get applause then, we are not just receiving the validation. What we are doing, we are creating a bond with audience. That all the audience feel that they are the part of our journey. And this kind of connection is really priceless for any communicator. Now, let's talk about the third power of applause. And it is the power of validation. And I may say, perhaps it is the most beautiful power of applause. Because it says, whatever you do, it matters. In Toastmaster, we don't wait for the perfect speech to applaud. You get applause for standing up. You get applause for showing. You get applause for facing your fears. So this validation reminds us that growth is not just about the perfection. It is about progress. Now let's zoom out. We talked about 3 power of applause. First is motivation, second is connection, and third is validation. Right? Now this echoes how this can empower, and isn't it the essence of communication itself? As motivation, is it empowers us to take the next step. The connection, it helps us to tie a bond with the audience. And the next, validation. It helps us courage to trust our journey. Right?
So, which was the first one?
First one, power of motivation. Yeah. Power of motivation, power of connection, and power of validation. And when we combine all these three, this sound becomes not just a noise, it is the language of encouragement. Yes. So it is very special in Toastmaster that we don't reserve our applause for perfect speeches. You get applause when you deliver your first speech, even if you forget half of it. You get applause when you deliver your table topic speech, even if you speak only 3 sentences. And you get applause just for showing up, just for trying, just for facing your fears. So, dear Toastmasters, here, what you must have remembered that applause is something which should not be favored. Because as a adult, we need it more than as a child, just to grow going up. So Toastmasters is a place where we can grow with applause. But it is the only place where speech starts and with applause. Right? So I request you and I want to challenge you that whenever you hear someone speak, clap. When you hear someone is doing something new, clap. And then, most important thing, clap for yourself. Do not wait for the standing ovation. Take a small step and celebrate. So, guys, always remember whenever you in this room, someone is giving a speech and you are clapping for them, just remind yourself that you are not just making sound, you are motivating, you are connecting, and you are validating it. And similarly, when you get applause, take it in. Let it fuel your confidence with it. And let it remind you that it is not just about the perfection, it is about the progress that you are making with every step. So in Toastmasters, what we do? We practice. We came here with a fear of the stage. Right? We deliver our first shaky speech. We get applause. We get some confidence. We improve. We again deliver our speech. And with this cycle, we build confidence. And with that, we become not only a speaker, but a person who can inspire others. And that is why I call a Toastmaster a factory of applause. Because we get a lot of applause, lot of encouragement to be a better person, better speaker, be a better leader. And maybe in life, in becoming a good communicator or becoming a good leader, it is very important to take a small steps and be a better person with a lot of encouragement. So let's practice this. On a count of 3, you all have to clap for yourself, not for today, but for the speaker, for the communicator, maybe the leader or the legends you are becoming. Are you ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Thank you so much for passing me the take a wonderful piece. Which round of applause? Toastmaster Meenal has already shared multiple things that will resonate with of attraction to examples of Virat Kohli, examples of words, how we use it, the importance of words in using. Similarly, I have got an example from the same thing the words that we use that help us manifest what we want. I'm sure you must have heard at least the story about Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein, yeah. When he was in nursery or something, he came back home with a sticky note with a note in his hand and giving it to his mother when he was actually unable to read it. And his mother said that your teacher that she read the note and it said that we are not able to have your children in our school because your child is so brilliant that we can't even have the standards of our school does not match with his ability. So what she did, she narrated the exact same thing to Albert Einstein, and which motivated Albert to become a brilliant scientist that he became in the future. Later, to realize that the note which mentioned, which our mother said was totally opposite that your son is totally dumb and we cannot have him in our school. So please keep him. He wanted to be. This is the power of words. This is the power of appreciation. This is the power of the applause that we need. Just changing the word, a dumb student, and making him the world's most interesting, most lovable, most intelligent scientist of all times. Similarly, as you mentioned the example of Virat Kohli, he is a true believer of law of attraction. How? We can see in his actions. And we also have an example of Jim Carrey. You have heard his name, Jim Carrey. Everyone. So Jim Carrey is a Hollywood actor, and you must have not heard his name, but at least he has seen his movies or various other ads in the movie The Mask. He was the actor in the movie The Mask, and multiple others. As per his story, he followed law of attraction very badly since 1980s. So he shared one of his incidents that in the year 1985 or something, he wrote a check to himself stating $10 million. That he will get $10 million from rendering the services to Hollywood. And he dated that check 10 years later, that is 1995, and he manifested that he will be receiving $10 million from rendering his services in Hollywood, an amount that will be received in the year 1995. 1985, he wrote that check, and for the next 10 years, he had no idea what will happen, how will he be getting there, will he be able to achieve that thing or not. But he only had one thing, and that was he believed that he will achieve that. He believed that he will receive that amount in the year 1995. And exactly in 1994, by the end of 1994, and in the year early 1995, he actually received $10 million in his account for two Bollywood movies. One of them was The Mask. So this is an example of famous this Jim Carrey Hollywood actor. One more example you must have seen in a movie known as Bhag Milkha Bhag. Have you seen that movie? So Bhag Milkha Bhag. There is a act in that movie where his leg was I think he was hurt. He was hurt. His leg was hurt, and he was on the racetrack. He imagined the whole racetrack sitting there, the whole racetrack starting from there until the end. He imagined the whole racetrack in his mind, and that was the time he made the world record. He broke the world record that day just by imagining and achieving that race. So this is actually the power of law of attraction. And unknowingly, maybe he must have not known what the law of attraction actually is because it was in the year 1950s, but he unknowingly achieved that. And all of you sitting here, each one of you is practicing law of attraction in their lives, and you might even not know. You are manifesting, you are thinking of words, you are thinking of actions that you want to achieve. That only thinking in your mind, but have no idea that you are actually achieving it. And when you give a thought on this, you will find that you have already achieved so much in your life just by thinking. And I'll be sharing my examples after this one. That what all I was able to achieve, and that's pretty so much that I'll share a few examples only. two key examples that, but after this speech, because it's time to invite our first prepared speaker up on stage. And today, our prepared speaker. Yeah, before inviting our prepared speaker up on stage, I would like to invite our evaluator, Toastmaster Rahul, to deliver the introduction of our speech. Thank you, Toastmaster Mohit. Let me just quickly confusion.
And Toastmaster Rahul, just give us 1 minute so that I can set up the kind of roles for this speech.
Sure.
So I'll request Toastmaster Divya to go out for a minute and we'll call you back once I'll set up the role.
The timer, please note that the time limits for Toastmaster Divya speech is 10 per speech. For Toastmaster Divya, it is 10 per speech.
Yes, sir. Please go through your role if you are not known. Please, I use chatting.
So let me read out the speech objectives for Toastmasters Divya's speech. She will be delivering her project work from level 4 and the pathway is presentation mastery. The speech title for this speech is The Silent Enemy. But I think today nobody will be remaining silent because the speech objectives are very interesting in this speech. Let me read out the speech purpose first. The purpose of this project is for the member to practice the skills needed to address audience challenges when they present their speech outside Toastmasters. So in Toastmasters, I think we are very well, mannered that we don't interrupt the speakers. But for this project, the speaker has to practice as if she was delivering a speech in a very difficult audience where the speaker is continuously being interrupted by audience members. And I think our VP Education and the President has set up the role there, so we'll be disrupting the speaker in between her speech. The speech has to be for 5 to 7 minutes, but to account for the disruption, the total timings for the speaker is 10 to 12 to 15. So the speaker can take up to 15 minutes, but the speech shall be 5 to 7 minutes. Although there is no way to distinguish between the two, but the speech content should be 5 to 7 minutes only. Now, as an evaluator, my job for today is not to evaluate the speaker or the speech. My job as an evaluator for today's speech is to evaluate how the speaker performs with the difficult audience. So my evaluation content will be based upon how she reacts and behaves under pressure when the audience members are interrupting her speech. I wish the speaker all the best, but I wish all the audience members that please do your best. Today we don't have to be well mannered. We have to disturb the speaker and make this a very rememberable moment for our speaker. Back to the speaker. Thank you. Thank you so much, Master Rahul, for sharing the detailed objectives of our speech. I would like to invite our first prepared speaker, Toastmaster Divya, please. Toastmaster Divya, the silent entity, Toastmaster Divya.
Imagine this. I'm in well-lit room of my living room. Taylor Swift music is playing in the background. I'm so excited for today. I'm going out for an outing. I have planned an exciting lunch with my friends. You know this place, they serve live tiramisu. where they layer it in front of you. I'm so excited. Then suddenly, boom. Oh no, what is this? The silent enemy is striking me. Someone please save me. There is an attack. The Taylor Swift music is changed into the pounding drum beats of betting. Hi, sir. Could you please focus? Thank you. So the Taylor Swift music is changed. And now I can hear the battle sound. The velvet room is no more lit. It's dark. I am marching in the room with a dupatta tied around my neck. Oh my God. I am marching like a warrior. I am ready to fight this invisible enemy. Not with the swords, but maybe with some rest. Why don't I give a down? That is my question for you. My next question. Please listen to me. So I'm fighting this enemy. And I want to take some rest, maybe a dollar. Can anyone guess what enemy I'm talking about?
Headache.
I thought I would not have to enact the drama again, but you are very spot on guessing. Thank you for guessing it correctly. Everyone else guessed the same. So the silent enemy for me is headache. They are so common, so widespread. The science has amazing fact to some. As per World Health Organization or WHO, 1 out of 2 adults faces at least once a year. And it causes a productivity loss of per person 17 days per year. Big amount. I was very curious about it.
But I think it is not big of a deal. No, I mean everybody can just take a paracetamol and that will be fine. But why does it bring so much downtime?
There are different kinds of headaches. We will talk about it in detail.
But I think I know I used see how clear
Headache is very important. If
Yeah.
you don't have that, it means you're not doing anything in life.
yeah, but they can take a paracetamol. No?
Yeah.
This is not a big deal.
That's interesting. Sir,
Okay.
I will definitely give you chance to ask your question at the end of speech as if your doubts are not clear, I'm happy to cover.
But the point is, without headache, the person can't live.
Without
Headache is very good thing.
Yeah.
I can A person cannot live without problems. Do you see any problem? Any person who can live without problems?
headache is not a constructive problem. It takes some time out of your important part of life, like which you might be investing on something else. So we will talk about prevention, cures, all this. Just stay tuned to the voice. You too also, please.
I believe headache is a stress kind of situation and a person is not able to deal with the situation. Capability issues.
Just hold on to that point and we will cover it in my speech for sure.
In my opinion, I think you haven't had a sleep that day, or you are not sleeping right. That's one reason.
Very well. So now you are so excited to know about different types of headache. Let's talk about how many different types of headaches do we have. The one most common one is the stress headache or the tension headache. So the stress headache is very common. The common causes for the stress headache is like this.
I can give you my body.
Thank you. So the
I'm
stress
getting headache as I speak the words.
Yeah, do you have paracetamol?
Please.
Yeah, please.
Actually, through speech, I'm getting headache.
Okay, so let's talk about. So the stress headache is very common. It is caused by bad posture or the stress. And we talk about 1% experienced headache out of 2 or 50% of the population. Out of that 50%, 80% of them have the stress headache. The second type of headache is migraine. The stress headache, the paracetamol which you were telling about, the spring migraine. But the second headache which we are talking about is the migraine. So they are like a silent enemy. They don't come alone. They come along with sensitivity to light and not able to focus on anything. And other interesting
So
fact
yeah,
that
the couscous milk is a very good solution for this kind of headache.
we will talk about it for sure.
White milk with couscous.
Definitely taken your recommendation. And interesting fact, listen to you, and all the men in the room will definitely be interested in it. So women are more susceptible to having migraine headaches 3 times more. So next time if your partner or if your wife is telling you she is having headache, she is definitely saying the truth. The chances of her having headache are more common than that. It is because of hormonal fluctuation.
I think it is, I don't agree.
The science has proved
You should have used spouse word, not this.
maybe in the future as the roles get divided, but hormones will still remain the same. Anyhow, so we talked about stress headache, migraine headache. The third is the mystery headache. We don't know why it is happening. And do you know if you lose certain amount of water from your body, even 2%, you tend to experience headache. So some of the headaches can get better, just drink water. So have you ever heard any of your friends telling you, have water, you will feel better? So it's kind of true.
Yeah, after parties I've heard this.
Dehydration, possibly you are throwing out so much and that's why water is at that point of time. The other one is all my friends who are wearing specs might relate to it. So when you were about to get numbered with the specs, the first symptom was headache.
So much time there.
We have sufficient time to master all things.
I think I should just impossible.
Okay, interesting fact. So if you are not wearing the correct power to your eye muscle gets strained and you tend to develop headaches. And the last one is the cluster headache, the very serious one, which are usually act as a sign. They are not the disease. They act as a sign of certain diseases. And they are so dangerous, they are told as a society headaches. The person is not able to do anything when they are experiencing such kind of headaches. And usually the treatment is not paracetamol in this case, it's the medical intervention. Now you all were very curious to talk about different things about headache. So everyone give me reasons why we do experience headache. Some of this I have covered in my speech already because of question. Possibly it is stretching. It is maybe stressing your muscles, that's why it could be very right.
It is very scientific also.
Right. It is around the blood vessels of your brain, very true. So I purposely not covered the medical terms of headache because I'm not an experienced doctor, but
Can we have headache because of our kids?
Yeah,
possible. Or you could also act as a headache for your kids. So that's harder. From this side, what could be the causes of headache?
Could be any desire you have in that.
Stress, dehydration,
Desire. Don't keep desires.
that your personal point is already covering in love of attraction. Desire is also attraction, so maybe when we can talk about this. Now let's come to the prevention part. So how this can be prevented? Easy solution. The very first, what could we do? If your clutcher is troubling, you just remove it. Thank you. Thank you, brother.
What about kids?
What about
You have got your large bike.
say what happens that we get attached to something. Don't detach sometimes. So detachment is maybe one of the solutions that we should be having the ability to detach from the situation or maybe things which we are thinking about.
Absolutely. So if I relate it to my speech, the headaches which are caused by the excessive use of screens, detachment is a perfect solution. So now I would like to summarize the solution which I had. The first is prevention, like to keep yourself away from the stress, keep yourself hydrated. The second is about lifestyle changes. maybe practice some yoga, meditation, law of attraction as well. And if you go to the gym, they also releases endorphin or which act as a natural pain relievers. Watching to a good comedy movie sometimes act as a good reliever to take you away from the headache.
One more question. Positive or two questions.
Of course. Of course. And the last one is medical consultation. If your headache is too persistent, you need to consult a doctor. So we have discussed so much about headache. So next time, if anyone of you is suffering from this or the chances is I will suffer from it, I will try to focus on prevention and fight headache strategies. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you so much for this. Such wonderfully handled audience. The irritating audience. Yeah, Suresh was very quiet. Are you playing that shy?
I was not playing anything.
You were playing the audience with the actual. Now the time's up for the audience to be irritating. Now it's my time to speak. Yeah. So we already discussed about the examples of Jim Carrey, about Virat Kohli or Milkha Singh. Now the examples of me. What if I tell you that I was able to manifest or attract the person in my life whom I got married? Is it possible? By law of attraction, can we attract a person to ourselves and that to the person with whom you will be living for the rest of our life?
Yes.
Huh?
Tell it.
That is I think this is the trick I am saying. You need to practice law of attraction framework that I was discussing in the last meeting, the last section.
Very clear.
So talking about the person that I was able to attract, the story is very different. In the year 2001, I met her for the first time. Then till 2005, I was a bit shy that I should talk to her or not talk to her. Then in 2006, I got to know that she is already engaged with some other person. Then 2008, I got to know that she left that person when she got to know that I was interested in her. And 2008, and then 2010. From 2008 to 2010, we were able to talk to each other very well and we were very close to each other. Then in 2010, some mishappening happened and she again went on to with some other person. So in 2010, we finally broke up. The relation that I was trying to maintain since 2001, in 2010, we finally broke up. And there was no chances that I would be even be interested, or she might come to me someday. I would be able to attract in my life once again. But they say किसी चीज को पूरे दिल से चाहो तो पूरी कायनात में उसको मिटाने की कोशिश करती है. In the year 2011, when I left everything and went on to focus only and only on my professional life, my father called me one day and said, "Would you like to marry her?" I was like, how, when I am not even in touch with her for the last 15 months, how come this whole thing happened? And my father calling me up and asking, will you be interested to marry her? And the kid in me, or you can say, back and I said, why not? Yes. And it's been now 14 years, we'll be celebrating our 14th anniversary next month. And how I was able to attract a person in my life, unknowingly that law of attraction actually works. But after realizing how law of attraction actually works, the 4-step form framework that I'll be discussing in later on. But yes, I was able to attract 90% in my 12th. I was able to attract exactly 87.2% in my class 10. Exactly 87.2 because I would only want this 87.2% exactly. And in how in the universe this can happen that in 10th, the board exams, no idea where you will be giving your exams, no idea who will be checking your papers, what all will be coming to you, that we have no idea. Still, from day one, since ending of class 9, I imagine that I will be getting 87.2% pass in my class 10 happening next year. And exactly I achieved that thing. How that was possible, I don't know. Science has no rules, but law of attraction, it is through law of attraction. Anyways, we'll be discussing more about it in the coming sections. But before that, it's time to invite our next speaker. To invite our next speaker, I would like to invite first his evaluator, who will be evaluating and sharing the details about his upcoming speech. And I would like to invite your master Hitesh upon stage.
Please give him the mic.
Yeah. So I will be evaluating the speech for Toastmasters Suresh, and his project is Project 2 Level 4 Leadership Development. This title of the speech is Leadership Stereotypes and What They Teach Us. So I hand over the stage to to PM Mohit Jain, and we wish him all the best to PM Suresh.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hitesh. Now I would like to invite our fighting officer, and the president of the face of this club, the charming face, Toastmaster Suresh Sen. Toastmaster Suresh, leadership stereotype and what they teach us. Leadership stereotype and what they teach us. Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mohit, for the introduction and speech. So this is specifically a project in which I need to prepare a podcast, and then I need to present it to you. So I will be presenting you the gist about this podcast preparation. But yes, of course, before presenting that podcast of 5 to 6 minutes, I'll give you the brief what it is all about. So one of the topic is very near to my heart, and that is leadership. Yes. And when I say leadership, there are some kind of things come into each of our mind. Yes. And specifically when I say this word, the words like bold visions, big speeches, and other things come into mind. Do you remember that there are kinds of leaders in all of our life that when we go and ask for a leave, they just start giving it that too. I have to see those kinds of bosses. Or the bosses when we are in trouble, they just disappear like a magician. So, going into looking into all of these aspects, I came onto this topic, and that's the kind of will be getting you all the gist about this stereotypes of all the leaders which are available in the universe. What are the weakness, what are the blind spots, and what we get to learn from those leaders. So that's all about this podcast that I have created. And in fact, what I have done is there are few kind of leadership style which I researched and can come across bringing my own code, bringing some of the industry leaders. So through that I could prepare it. And let's get to the podcast, right? So let me start with that. Where is Toastmasters? Where is Toastmasters?
Our words are not matching our words.
Very, very necessary for every one of us. And yes, you guessed it right. We are going to speak about leadership. That's one of the topic which is very, very close to my heart. And before we start, let me share brief about me. I am Suresh, and I love to help people in their different aspect of life because I carry the skills with me like conflict management, how to navigate relationship better, helping others, and of course to make things like, can you CC me on that email? Actually, you do BCC me. So just in case you miss to do CC, and they will watch you like a hawk. If you are typing, they are standing over your shoulder going, interesting choice of punctuation. That's how they manage things. Okay, now you tell me, do you have some other examples to share? How do you feel that specifically have you seen the managers or the leaders who are micromanagers? Feel the people who micromanage in their team, what are the reasons for that? Any idea? Any thoughts about it? The one thing which come to my mind, these kind of leaders have, so they think, they plan, but they get the things executed through someone else. That's why it is also sad when it's come professionally, it's a teamwork job. Someone is visionary leader, someone is execution one, right? So they will stand up in the meeting. These visionary leader will stand up in the meeting and they will tell you that, team, we are going to revolutionize the industry. We are really going to make a difference in this industry. This business is going to be 1,000 crore tomorrow. Tomorrow, when I say tomorrow, it's mean maybe
Said that there are some chill leader and there are different type of leadership styles. But there are few things which I would like to add in your explanation, which might add value considering my experience. So every leader set a expectation in his team. There is a threshold for every leader. So if leader is very violent, team will align accordingly. Unless he will not be violent, team will not take him seriously. In case of chill leader, you rightly said, he's slow in his giving commands, in his driving operations, but his violent threshold will be different. And once he will be violent, a little bit hyperactivity from him or hyper action or hyper command, team will take it as a strong message. So by this way, probably every leadership has some advantage, every leadership has some disadvantage, or probably you can say that every leadership.
Absolutely. So what I understood is that these kind of leaders are more approachable and friendly. Team can go and speak to them. These kind of leaders create a low stress environment. Trust is more. They are more flexible to accommodate the request of the team, and the team is having great work-life balance, and the energy and the vibes in the team is positive. That kind of reducing, we have all-rounder kind of personality in front of us who is a lecturer in the field of leadership. And just to give a brief about his hobbies, he is a sport enthusiast, rider, fitness enthusiast, and what not, and maybe singer and a musician. And there is, of course, lot more to share about our guest, Mr. Mani Pandey. But yes, of course, without ado, I invite and welcome him. Mr. Mani Pandey, very, very welcome in this particular session. I hope our
So motivational leaders are always the business head, or you can say the director, or maybe a business unit manager. So they have their expertise in their domain pertaining to the development of the business. when we are talking about the sales and marketing aspect is concerned, or maybe some other aspect when we will touch upon. So they are experts in their working area, whether it is sales or marketing. And because of their work experience, vast experience, they became very effective. They're very influencing communicator to influence or energize the colleagues to meet up their objective or reach to the expectation of the organization. So they influence others.
Okay, so I think that was all which I have prepared with the help of my friends, colleague, and with me. This was the first time I was preparing some of the podcasts, and that's all credit goes to this educational path of Toastmasters. And one of the great leader in Toastmaster has said that whenever you reach on level 4, so I challenge you to choose podcast. One, the project which is having podcast. So I accepted that, I delivered it. Now it's to our evaluator, he will definitely, and I'll take feedback from each one of you that what I did well, and maybe I'll improve step by step. It's kind of not the easy nut to crack, but yes, going forward in practice, we always say man become perfect, but yes, also women also become perfect. That's why they say always man. Yeah. So that was the glimpse of this podcast. What I want to say is that there are different stereotypes of leaders. There are so many mistakes are done by them, and of course, micromanager has their own blind spots. Then invisible leaders has their own, motivational has their own. When I say blind spots, they are blind spots, but there are strengths also. This podcast will tell you that these are the blind spots and how when you are dealing with these kinds of leaders, you need to safeguard yourself from those kind of blind spots. At least you don't fall prey to those blind spots. And the true is that never fail. But the leader that failed, and after that failure, he learns from that failure, adapt to that, and then do not make that mistake once again. So that's all from my end, and now I invite our Toastmaster of the day to take this meeting forward.
Thank you, Toastmaster Suresh. I don't know which leader has said this, take that great podcast program, but there are two podcasters sitting here, and one aspiring podcaster standing up on stage. So I haven't chosen that for a program yet, but project yet, but I will be doing that in near. Let's move forward with the law of attraction thing because we have less time. I will just quickly go with the 4-step framework that is actually used in any law of attraction to manifest anything, which I didn't show earlier, as already mentioned, but I know it now. We have already discussed about Virat Kohli, we have already discussed about Nitha Singh, we have already discussed about Jim Carrey and me. These are the 4 steps that we should be following: I, B, A, and R. I is for intention. We can also say that desires. The pure the desire is, the intentions are. Just always remember the intentions you have, what you want to achieve. That should be very much clear. That should be very clear what you want. As I mentioned, I wanted 87.2% marks. That was my clear intention that I want 87.2 in 10. That was clearly mentioned. I already mentioned that I meet this girl. One day I mentioned that maybe I might have forgotten, but I have already shared my intention that I want to marry this girl someday, and that I was achieved. And there are hundreds other examples that I can give it right away, but I don't have that much time today to share it. But one thing is very clear: the intention part, the intention, the desire should be very much clear. Second is B for believe. There can be times when you think that this goal, this task is too high for me. I cannot achieve this. The moment you think of this, I'm telling you, you won't be able to achieve. You say that I want to jump from 10th floor, and I am sure that I will be standing live and that I will be live and standing upon my feet. Maybe your intentions are not right or doing this, but I'm telling you, if you can believe it, you can do it. That can be anything. And I'm sure, I don't know how many of you have known this example. There was a man some 10, 15 years back. He met with an accident. In that accident, he was sitting on the passenger seat, in the car, passenger seat. The driver was unable to, I think he was sleepy or what, he wasn't able to push the brakes. The trucks standing in front of it, that there were steel bars in that truck, and that one of the steel bars went inside this man. The operation went for the next 11 days, but that man was right. Maybe because the intentions were right, maybe because they had to be who was operating, or maybe his private. The third is aim for. This is the step that most of the people, most of the stories that are mentioned in Law of Attraction, books or movies is missed. And this is action.
Action.
You must have thought, you must have heard about the story. Just think and you will be rich. Just think and you will achieve this. Just think of that the parking spot will be available and you will achieve this. But what if you won't even move from your house? Just think that parking spot will be there. But you are not moving from your house. Doesn't really matter that parking spot is available or not. So the third and the most important part of A is action. You don't know what you want to achieve, but you must be moving towards that direction. If I want to achieve 87.2%, then I must be at least moving in that direction. It's not that I have thought that I will be achieving it and then going on Netflix and watching everything and not even opening the book. It's not possible. At least open the book, at least read and achieve. Maybe you don't know that you will be achieving it or not, but if you have a belief that you can achieve it, you will definitely achieve it. Action. Now this is something that you don't have to do anything. Yes, receive. If your intentions are right, if you believe are soundproof and you are acting in that direction, you don't have to worry about the results. You don't have to worry about the what you are going to achieve, whether you are going to achieve it or not. You will have to just wait. The only challenge with this law of attraction is that time. You don't know when you will achieve. Sometimes that thing can be listed to time. For example, 87.1 in 10 can be achieved in only one day, on that particular day. But marrying to a girl cannot be achieved in maybe if you say that I want to marry her in the next year or the next year, you don't know. But if your intentions are pure and your beliefs are strong, then one day you will marry her. So these are the 4 steps that needs to be followed in any law of attraction to manifest anything in your life. Identify you must have achieved this in your life earlier, and if not, keep on searching. You will find money for yourself in the near future. Thank you. Now it's time to invite our table topic speaker. Right. Toastmasters, it's time for you to see the which stage. I think we put our speakers in spotlight and made their lives very hard. Now it's time for you to practice the same. In this session, we will be doing quick impromptu speeches. The speeches can last 1 to 2 minutes. At 1 minute, you will see a green card. That basically means you are doing very well. Keep going. At 1.5 minutes, you will see a yellow card. That means it's time for you to wrap up. And at 2 minutes, you will see a red card, which basically means time is up. Go back to your seat. You will have 30 seconds of grace period for you to find your seat and to call in on stage. With this Toastmasters, I'll not wait any further. I'll not make you wait any further. Let's quickly jump into the session. And I would like some volunteers from this room. Garrison, I see you. And it's time for you to prepare yourself. I'll be calling you next. But from someone from this meeting room. Anyone? Law of attraction, guys. Yes, please. What's your name, sir? Jayant. Jayant. Perfection is a myth. Perfection is a myth, Jayant.
Anything from what
This is the topic. This is the topic. This is my topic that you have taken. If you want, I can give you something simple. I'll never quit. Let's try again. Jayant. I'll never quit. I'll never quit, Jayant. Go ahead.
Okay. So, hello everyone. This is Jayan Patra. I'll tell you a story about a year when I was at class 10. It was class 12, and near to my hometown, near to my home, there was a construction ongoing, and I had to come to a base where to study for the 12th exam. So at that point of time, it was like it was purely waste, and you know the waste culture. They like loud music and like, throughout the day party and everything. And I was kind of sure that I definitely do well, but with this environment, I may lack something. So one day, one of my teacher he came like we are doing some kind of practice in the cricket match, and all of a sudden he came back and he said, I want you to spend some time in your studies, and I will give you my room to go ahead over there. And it was basically some kind of physics lab over there, and he said, I will give you my room to go and study over there. So at that point of time, I realized that if you have something, you are focusing something, you will definitely get opportunity. And if you believe yourself, you will definitely achieve the thing that you are targeting for. And that gave me a kind of a space where I can utilize my curriculum or my studies for the exam. And I was able to achieve in a kind of to the environment I grew, I was able to achieve with a kind of very success mode that I was targeting for. And it was something that I was looking for and achieved.
Great. Thank you, Jayant. Thanks a lot. Okay, Gary, are you there?
Yes.
Perfect. Can you please refer your camera? Perfect. Okay, Gary, son, I have a topic for you, which is very good. Yes, Gary, son. I love Sundays. I love Sundays. Guys,
I love Sundays. That's the topic, right?
yes.
Okay. Um, okay. I love Sundays. I think it's an interesting concept. Uh, Recently, I've discovered that in Indian mythology, there was no concept of Saturday or Sunday. We used to work all the week, all the days that are present in a week, which was really interesting to know. There was no concept of leaves or uh, taking a break. But as we are in this modern world, we are working from 5 days to 6 days a week, and I have realized that we need a break. That's why I believe that we love Sundays, even though the ancient our culture has been like this, that we need discipline, we need to work every day to improve ourselves, and there should not be a break. But I agree with the Western culture where Sundays are good and they should be respected. We need to have some of our time just to relax, wind down, and then try to improve upon it. Um yeah, I think that's my take on how we should live our life. We need to have a balanced lifestyle uh, while working in a modern system. We need to balance it out with having a good uh, Sunday or a weekend so that we can relax and perform better on the coming week. So that's it. Yeah.
It was a wonderful take. I was not expecting such a detailed take on this particular topic, but you did a very good job on this. Now, Toastmasters, as I was scanning the room, I found somebody manifesting quite hard for this table topic. I say true volunteers, but I'll first of all call upon someone who has good intentions, of course, you will do, but somebody who I could see that they are manifesting quite hard. So let me call upon stage this gentleman. Please come upon stage. Okay, Neeraj, first of all, take this. Your topic. Yes, Neeraj. If I could solve one problem, if I could solve one problem, Neeraj.
I think I'm a big fan of startups, and I used to do lot. I have done mine also one startup. So basically, I used to think that I can solve a lot of things, right? And I came up with different ideas, right? But later one day I realized that I used to solve one problem at one time, right? It will sort out our entire life. One day I was sitting idle and I thought, why don't we solve one basic problem? So that's how I started my first startup. And it worked well. For 1 or 2 years, I was able to work. I sold it out successfully. Later, I realized what you achieved out of that. And I said, simply, right, you are able to solve one problem, and there are a lot of problems are there. So you can choose anything, and you can do be another one, right? And you can choose another startup. So I realized one topic, right? Even you said it, perfection, right? That's it's a myth. Even I realized right, you can it's a myth. It's actually a myth, right? I can relate that topic also because nothing is perfect, right? If you are able to achieve what you want, basically, or maybe right, if you are able to achieve a healthy life, happily life, right? I think that's the perfection, right? Or that's the solution, right? You are looking for a problem, and I think if you are able to solve that problem, if you are find the happiness right in your life, that is the most ideal problem to be solved and fully help.
Okay, Toastmasters, I think we are running short of time, so I'll just take one last volunteer. Who's it? Who will it by yes, it is Toastmasters. Toastmaster RTI. Hard work is not enough. Hard work is not enough. Toastmaster RTI.
I remember since my career, I was working hard in my organizations to bring some results. And since then, I working hard a lot that I should be getting results, and I have achieved many results. I made myself good in matters, all the subject matters. But what I was missing was presenting the things. Projecting is very important while you do many projects. You do projects, but you need to learn how to project them to the management. And this is very important. If you work hard, but you are not presenting the things in the right way, this was the biggest problem. It is seen that the people who work hard, but they are not able to present the things, they cannot rise in the life. But those people who present the things, but they don't work hard, they also don't rise in life because they're living in the intentions and business and all those things. But both the things are very, very important. So manner is also important that matter which you are expert in. So this was the one area which I identified in my life that with hard work on your subject matters, you need to learn the manners in which you should be communicating. And this is what those masses have been doing this subject.
Toastmasters, I think it was a wonderful take, and I would say the time was not enough this time. All right, with this, Toastmasters, I'll wrap up my quick session of table topics, and I would like to hand over the stage back to the Toastmaster of the day. Okay, let me call upon stage our general valedictorian, right away. Toastmasters.
Shall I come?
So, quickly starting with the general evaluation for today. First of all, starting with the session which I mentioned this before also, I would like to appreciate this, how professionally all this setup was all organized. It's a hybrid meeting. Garrison has also joined us, and all of you being here with the complete usage of the boards and all kind of this presentation. So special thanks to and kudos to Sureshji, Rahul,
Toastmaster Divya, Toastmaster
everybody else. So first of all, applause. I will go with the keynote speech. The meeting started perfectly with such a dance. You need to explain the rules, you need to explain what are the guidelines and everything. But the most important thing to kickstart a meeting is the energy. So that you were able to give us in the start of the meeting. The rules were perfectly displayed, and also the mission statement was clearly explained to everybody. Then came a very important role, which was of presiding officer. So again, presiding officer has to ensure that motivation. And you had perfectly started off this meeting uh, with the theme of what a Toastmaster meeting is all about, and introducing how the meeting goes, and the guests were also introduced, and that way we started our meeting. With Toastmaster of the day, Mohit, you had a perfect theme in place. You had a lot of connection with the audience. We had a lot of interaction with the audience. So that's how we become a part of it, a meeting, interactions. So he asked a lot of questions. We had some of the examples of law of attraction where some of the common examples of law of attraction which we have heard about in public. And also the most important thing which connects with all of us are the stories, and that he has said his own story, and a big lot of applause for him. Very good to meet. Toastmaster Rahul then started with his table topic session. He was also able to introduce the theme of law of attraction into it. All the guests were able to participate in this. I would just recommend that the topic could have been a little bit easier for the first speaker, but again, you managed it with a different topic, and we were able to accommodate all the speakers today, all the guests specifically today. And also, I would like to appreciate Sir James, sir. You were able to speak up and bring out your personal story into a topic. This is something commendable. And different, so all the guests also, from the guests also we can learn, and they brought something very different. So Jayant spoke about his personal story. So you spoke about your personal story, but the way you approached, it seemed like presentation or something was a kind of your thing. So the confidence you were able to see in him, you brought a lot of perspective into the things, and Garrison also has joined us, and he explained a topic like Sunday. I could not think that he had explained it two different perspectives of it with his own approach. So that was all well done. The things particularly I would like to say about this meeting is that one, somewhere, so I have not noted it down, but somewhere most of us as Indians, we do grammatical mistakes. Grammatical was not a part of it, but we should just know that our English, particularly tenses, we sometimes forget things, and we just mix up past, present, and future. We should just look into it. Timing was again one thing, but I was enjoying it. All the speeches were long this time, and the DMOD session was also a little bit more in depth. But the thing is that timing should be a little bit more arranged so that we have more interaction towards the DTM session, the table topic master session. A quick feedback to everybody in Toastmaster is that we should just avoid abbreviations. So TM, TDM, TMOD, we should just make it incomplete. Toastmaster, Toastmaster Rahul, Toastmaster Suresh. We should introduce everybody in that way. And also one more feedback to everybody, and this is not Toastmaster feedback, but I am giving you in person that. So I have also noted down a lot of things. I have met you, I have met you before the meeting, I have met everybody of you. The introductions, you know the person. Even if you don't know, you just get an idea before the meeting. Don't look into the notes. Just be there. Be there with your audience. Don't refer the notes. Even in your evaluations and everything. The one thing which is probably till now missing is that about the two speeches which we had today. So for the two speeches, there are dedicated speech evaluators, and I would just like to call upon them one by one. So for Toastmaster Divya, the evaluator was Toastmaster Rahul. I would just like to welcome you on stage.
Toastmaster, I was manifesting really hard. Guess who was the speaker today? Toastmaster Divya, one of the finalists. Today was a very special speech and something that we encountered quite rarely in Toastmasters. But before we move on to the evaluation, I would first like to commend the speaker for her ability to be on stage, handle the difficult audience, and manage to conclude the speech with some impact on time. Please have a round of applause. Toastmasters, we do CRC, that is commendation, recommendation, and conclusion commendation, whatever. But today it was a very special speech, and I'll use a very special method, which is just directly going through my notes. First of all, I could see the positivity in the speaker. The moment she arrived on stage, she was positive and happy to be on stage. I could see that the speaker was very confident and assured of herself, which is a very good sign, especially when you are dealing with a project that includes a difficult audience. But I could also note that the speaker was thrown off a lot during the disruption. Maybe because we were being a very hard audience, we use this as an opportunity to do whatever we got there in the meeting. But the speaker and the delivery fluency was somewhat lacking in this particular project. And the reason being there was constant disruptions, and the speaker could not understand from where and when somebody could disrupt. But that was a part of the project. I was hoping for more fluency and consistency in the rhythm of the speech, because I could see the speaker was very well prepared because she was not fumbling at all during her presentation, but the delivery again was somewhat out of rhythm, which was expected for this project. Another thing that I could note, and something that we all should think about and work upon, is that how do you manage the difficult audience? Speaker today used a very specific phrase that I'll come to this. I'll address this in a minute. But when the audience are not very, not very well mannered in a way, and they are constantly arguing with you on a particular topic, it is better to address that right away or handle it a different way. What I could feel is the speaker's way of handling the things were there, but they were not. I could feel they were not polite enough and effective enough in a way that the audience were mad. What I would have done in that particular case, for example, is somebody saying that, oh, migration is a very common thing, this and that, then I would say, I agree with you, sir. But there are a few other things that come into consideration when we are talking about this. Let me handle this and I'll come back to your point once I have addressed that. So there is a way that you manage the audience based on what they are saying. If you are just listening them down and saying that I'll come back to this, sometimes they don't feel satisfied enough that okay, my voice is heard or not, and they will come back at you again and again. So this is something that we all can incorporate whenever we are dealing with difficult audience, that we manage them in a way that suits the particular audience. For example, somebody was chit chatting, right? That would have been, oh, I think you are discussing something very interesting, but I'll come back to this. Let's focus on me for now. Something like that. But all in all, I would say with a positive approach and very good, I would say very good presentation, and the content that she was delivering was very well prepared. I could see the speaker managed to complete this project with some good grades. But if she like, I think it is better that she tries this in a different audience setup where she can practice this more. That's all from my side, and back to the general part. Thank you.
Now I would like to request the evaluator for the Toastmasters Suresh. Toastmasters Day, please.
It was a very well delivered speech by Team Suresh. He tried very well. First of all, his attire for today being very professional, which I admire the most. Let's give him a very consistent thing which he has is always he carries a smile on his face, which is a motivation, and it is very contagious when he smiles whenever he gets connected to someone. That's a great thing. Now, if we start, like if we talk about the basic terms like clarity, vocal variety, gestures, comfort level, it was all apt. Few things like the example stated in the entire, it was talking about the various types of leadership that was very well connected. Thanks to the partner which came on the podcast and shared his feedbacks, on the video which we saw. That was very great. It was quite engaging, though it may be his first time, or maybe I don't know, I'm not aware of that, but he tried very well on that, tried engaging. In a way, another way to move to a next ladder, it would be great if we can have such more cases with some stories around it so that the audience can get connected. I felt a bit lack on that side. Next is, it could have another way which I have also done is like asking questions to the public, throwing some engaging questions which could have been more on. So, in somehow I felt that the message was not clear while delivering this session. So otherwise, he's very apt in terms of the stage comfort, no doubt on that. And I wish him all the best for the upcoming ones.
So thank you very much, both the speech evaluators. The thing which was mentioned by Toastmasters Rahul earlier was that in Toastmasters we follow a CRC approach. So commendation, recommendation, commendation. Coming to the evaluation session, generally, as an evaluator, once you are given the responsibility of an evaluator, you tend to find out the negatives, you tend to find out what all things can be improved more. But we should just remember the keynote speech of today. Applause. So the thing is, I'm not asking you to clap, you can do it. But the thing is, commendations should be very strong. How the speech was carried out, how effective it was, that has to be done very good in a very good manner. So the commendations part, the evaluator should just work on it, and the commendations part, you should just improve it more. Because recommendations, anyway, you are listening to the speech very carefully, and you will be able to find out some things which some areas of improvement can be done. But the commendation part, that should be improved. And whenever you are delivering evaluation, at that particular time, don't say commendation. Okay, so commendation, you are very good. Recommendation, you need to improve on this. A commendation, you are again very good. Then the speaker feels it that you are just following a particular process. It should not be a process. We are, how many of you are engineers here? Engineers, mostly I am. CAs or doctors. So, general tendency of us engineers mostly, and mostly in people working in corporates is that we tend to make a process, CRC, a process. But once you are delivering the speech, it's an art. It's an art. It should appear in a way that it's CRC. But it's not that you need to mention that this is C, this is R, this is C. It should appear in a way that you are firstly giving a commendation about how well the speaker has done their speeches, and then what all areas are to be improved, not the bad areas. What all areas are to be improved, and then finally closing it with a feeling that the speaker goes away with, and that should be always positive. And that's what Toastmasters is all about. That's all about my delivery. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, General Manager, Toastmaster Dick. Thank you so much for your great course, evaluation, and everything. I think the enthusiasm you carry on this stage was unmatchable, and I really aspire to be like the same enthusiasm, so I also can get that. With that, I think we are at the end of this meeting. And before closing, like we sincerely appreciate and acknowledge the participation from all the guest members, and especially to kind of expressing our gratitude for accepting our invite by our keynote speaker Toastmaster Meenal. So we are really thankful to have Toastmaster R.K. Arora sir, Hitesh, who also become part of this meeting. Really appreciate and happy accepting to be interrupter and chat or maybe the role which I have given to them. So thank you so much, everyone. And before going to our guests, let's invite guests from our online setup. Gary sir, would you love to hear your feedback about meeting? What we did well, what we can improve, your suggestions, please.
I haven't been noting it down, but I think I really like the structure of how the meeting is generally organized. I like the setup, and in terms of speaker, I really liked the first speech that there was. Though there was a little bit of communication or audio lag that I generally see, and in this one there was also the same case. So other than that, I think the yeah, overall structure is really good. There's just a bit of network issue. If that can be improved, I think that would be better as well. Yeah.
Thank you for your feedback. We are working on that.
Thanks.
And I request you to stay back till we close this meeting. We would love to have a photo with you. Now move to Jan. Your feedback is how you find this meeting, what is your experience?
The thing is, I like when you have basically the feedback just on you and how transparently you provide the feedback and how the person is making, how he take it. So that's really good what I feel. And you always get something positive, something to improve. I think that's what I got about the student, that's what I'm just seeing also.
Your feedback is?
The structure was quite nice. Even the content was quite nice. Organized, right? The way it is organized in a timely manner, it was quite nice. The only thing I can just say, maybe we can give more information. Example, like there's an argument, right? Chatter, and what are these kind of roles, and can you even the guest, right? Because they are also involved, so they should be knowing, right? This is what, right? The role is, and that is or what it means, right? So I hope somebody can explain also. That will be helpful. I think. Otherwise, it's a fabulous session. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. And with this, I would love to close this meeting. But before closing, I request our guests, if they wish to become member of our club, you can connect to Toastmaster Mohit, who is our secretary for our club. Am I pronouncing right? Your designation? Because I am very poor in that. I just keep missing this. So you can connect with Toastmaster Mohit, me, Rahul, anyone. And Garrison, this goes for you as well. So I think you already have experience about how this meeting is conducted, And if you really want to invest your time in the right direction, so it's time for you to take the first step and become member of this club. With this, I invite you all to the stage so that we can have a group photo. And let's have final concluding clap for everyone.
Yeah, let's go to the slides.
In the room, and we have set it for 10 seconds. This is saying battery is low. So you can have to up and down. Flash. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's wait for 2 more seconds. Let me check. Let's take one more. I think we have covered Garrison. So I think me and Jay need to do more.
On this side.
What are you? Raj, yes, sir. Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much, Garrison. Now we are closing this meeting. Let's meet next week.
Sure. Thanks.
See you next week, Garrison. Bye.
Good to see you.
Yeah. Bye.